Welcome to your playful growth moment where nervous system regulation meets leadership clarity and sustainable health. I'm Olga, I'm your integrative health coach and leadership coach, guiding high achievers into self-led neuro-leadership, which simply means stress-resilient self-leadership. All right, let's jump around and shake off our body. And you can get silly here. You can go in the circles if you feel like it. And then we're gonna jump on one leg and then the other leg. Good, and keep jumping on both legs and shaking. Woo! All right, I'm getting warm. All right, let's calm down and take deep breaths. And if you feel like it, you can close your eyes and feel all of that energy. Woo! You should be vibrating right now and feeling it all. Good. And then we're gonna swing our arms side to side. Just allow the gravity to do this. So all you're doing is really you're moving your spine side to side and the arms are going with gravity and whatever the physics direction is. Woo. And this is really good for your spine health in the morning to wake up your beautiful spine. Good. All right, let's come back to the center, and again, just notice the shifts in your body, notice the energy in your body. Good, and then we're gonna take our thumbs and make them into fists, and we're gonna give ourselves a little pumping massage for our lymphatic system. So you're really gonna get in there. So as you know, our lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like our heart, and sometimes it's good to give it a bit of help. Good, just do it everywhere. And with age, we need it here, guys. And we need it here in these places, especially for women. But men too, I mean, we all need it, but for women, we need to pump those sluggish toxins out of our body and help our hormones to balance. All right. Perfect. And once you're done, again, close your eyes or gaze in front of you and just connect with your body. Feel the sensations, notice what's happening. Good. And we're gonna start moving. Let's inhale and reach. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into the plank. Lower down slowly and controlled. We're gonna inhale into small cobra. And then exhale, arms in the T position. Bring your chest down. Let's take the left leg towards the right arm. And you're gonna rotate towards the right side. And just breathe in. You're having a nice shoulder stretch and you're having a hip opener here. So breathe in into all the places where you might be sensing any sensations or tensions. And invite your breath there. Good. On the next exhale, release to the center. And then take your right arm towards your left, your right leg towards your left arm. Rotate to your left side. And now open up your hip. Ooh, and breathe in again to all of those sensations. Good. And on the next exhale, slowly release to the center. We're gonna bring our arms next to our rib cage. And then you're gonna keep your knees on the floor. We're gonna do a real push-up up. And then we're gonna do a push-up down. And then a push-up up. Make sure you keep your elbows next to your rib cage, and then a push up down. Push up, and then you're gonna tuck your toes under, and from here into your first downward dog. And take 3 cycles of breath, moving your toes, moving your hips. And then shake your head to say yes and no, to soften your neck. And then soften your jaw. And then find stillness in your downward dog and just observe yourself. Observe what's happening in a downward dog. Do you feel the blood rushing into your head? Do you feel some pulling somewhere, maybe in your back or in your hips or in your underneath your knees? So just tune in, observe yourself. This metacognition is one of the highest, actually, intellectual properties that we have as human beings. And the more metacognitive you become, the more you can recognize the patterns and the shifts that you need to transform then. Last cycle of breath here. And on the next inhale, tippy toes up, bend the knees, look forward, step or walk towards the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching all the way up, and then exhale, lower down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into the plank. We're gonna lower down slowly, elbows next to your rib cage. Bring the arms in the T position, left leg towards the right arm, open up. And just breathe in, looks good. On the exhale, release. On the next inhale, bring the other leg and open the other side. Good. On the next exhale, release to the center. Bring the arms next to your rib cage. We're gonna keep the knees on the floor. We're gonna do a push up, and a push up down. Push up. Make sure your abs are engaged, and push up down. Push up, and then toes under and into downward dog. And tune in again into this metacognition mode. Notice the shifts. Notice what's moving in your body. And maybe already something is shifting in your mind or your energy. So just tune in into those subtleties. Good. On the next inhale, tippy toes up, bend the knees, look forward, step or walk towards the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into the plank. Lower down slowly. And we're gonna go into a little bit of a higher cobra. And exhale down. And then inhale into a little bit higher cobra. And exhale down. And another higher cobra. Good. And exhale down. Arms in the T position, left leg towards your right arm, open up. And one cycle of breath. On the next exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, switch the legs, open up. Take one more breath. And on the next exhale, back into the center. Arms towards your rib cage and push up and push down and push up and down. Pushing up, tucking the toes and into downward dog. 3 cycles of breath in metacognition mode. You're just observing yourself and your body is just moving, doing things, but you are the observer. Good. On the next exhale, knees down to the floor. Keep your toes tucked. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, bring the arms with the fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. Elbows are gonna come close together. And then on the incoming inhale, you're gonna reach back, and then exhale, come back. Good. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, come back. And now going back for a few breaths. So we're gonna take 2 breaths here. And try to really go from your upper back into the back bend, not from your lower back. So really try to ensure that it's your upper back, the thoracic spine, that is bending and not the lower back. And then slowly come back. And let's do a few cats and cows to soften your lower back here. Good. Nice. And let's come back to the camel pose. Bring your toe, tuck your toes under. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your arms behind, and depending on where you are, you're either gonna interlace the opposite elbows, or maybe you're gonna come into the reverse prayer pose. And really try to bring your shoulder blades closer together, and try not to bend this part here, the lower part. Try really to bend from the thoracic spine. So really just the top, which means that you're really opening your chest, which means that you're really bringing your shoulder blades closer together, and you're pulling your elbows back. Very nice. Looking good, everyone. And then let's softly come back and do a few cats and cows, whichever way feels good for you. Just to counter that pose. Good. And let's come back into downward dog and take 3 cycles of breath in your metacognition mode. Observing what is going on in your body, in your mind, and in your energy. Last breath here. On the next inhale, tippy toes up, bend the knees, look forward, step or walk towards the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Start bending the knees and coming towards the chair pose. To the degree that feels good for you, arms could be anywhere. Here, 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 whatever feels good, just check in. And on the next exhale, lower down a little bit more. Engage your abs here. Good. On the next inhale, we're gonna reach up and then bring our arms again into the reverse prayer pose. And on the inhale, we're gonna go back and exhale, come back. Good. On the next inhale, try to really just go from the top. So really try to bring your shoulder blades close together. Good. Good. A little bit closer together, the shoulder blades. And then slowly come back. And we're just gonna go into standing, kind of forward cat, and just soften here. Good. to the center. Good. On the next inhale into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And let's flow through vinyasa at your own pace. We meet in a downward dog. Take your time. Good. Nice. On the next inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your knee and open your hip. And just allow for this hip opening to take over, and try to bring your heel closer to your thigh so that you can even stretch your thigh here. And on the next exhale, bring the leg all the way forward into low lunge. And then once you're ready, you can start bringing your arms to the degree that feels good to you. It could be on the side, it could be up. Good. Release your shoulders away from your ears. Soften your chest. Good. And then we're gonna bring the arms behind, maybe into raise the opposite elbows, maybe into the reverse prayer. Good. And you're gonna go very slowly into back bend and then come back to the center. And again, very slowly into back bend. Exhale, come back to the center. Inhale into back bend. And then exhale, come back to the center. Bring the arms inside of your right leg and move the leg to the side of, to the edge of your mat. So you're going into this nice lizard pose. The only thing that we're gonna do differently today is that we're gonna move the knee out. So the knee is gonna move out to the side. There we go, good. Let's take a few breaths here. And again, tune in into your metacognition, observe yourself, what is going on. And when I'm saying observe yourself, it's mostly that you're observing without reacting. So no judgment, no attachments to anything that's happening. Just an observation of what is happening. Okay, for those of you who want more, check in with your body. Let's bring the elbows to the degree that feels good. Grab your blocks if you need them. And let's lower down a little bit more. Good, 2 more breaths here. Nice and slow. Let's come back onto your palms. Tuck the left toes under, lift up your knee, come into the plank, and let's take vinyasa flow at your own pace. We meet in a downward dog. Taking 3 cycles of breath here. Again, tuning in to observe the shifts. Observe right now the differences in between the right and the left. Without any judgment, without any narrative, just observe. Good, on the next inhale, left leg up towards the ceiling, bend your knee and open your hip. Good, see if you can try to bring your left heel towards your left thigh. Woo. Okay, on the next exhale, swing the leg all the way through to the front into low lunge. Release the knee to the floor. And then inhale and reach the arms up or to the degree that feels good for you. Few breaths here. Looking good, everyone. Good, on the next exhale, either interlace the opposite elbows, switch them, or go into the reverse prayer. Good, on the next inhale, let's go into back bend. And then exhale and come back. Inhale, back bend. And exhale and come back. Good, last back bend. Ooh, exhale and come back. Bring the arms inside of your left knee. Move the knee to the edge of the left side of your mat. Going into the lizard pose. And this is where you're gonna start moving your knee out. So the knee is gonna shift out to the side. You're starting to get into this connection in between your glute and your side thigh. For those of you who feel good and you want to go lower, the elbows can come down. Good, last breath here. Good, on the next inhale, start coming up onto your palms and then tuck the right toe under, shift into the plank and take vinyasa flow. We all meet in a downward dog. Good, and 3 cycles of breath there. Last cycle of breath. Good, on the next inhale, tippy toes up, bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, jump to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Starting to go into the chair pose, going into back bend, and then exhaling into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Let's flow through vinyasa at your own pace. Good, on the next inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, open your hip. And trust the gravity and trust the floor is gonna catch you. Let's move into the wild thing. Opening your hips up, opening your chest up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. On the exhale, into downward dog, leg up. And then swing the leg all the way through to the front into high lunge. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. Once you find your balance, arms are gonna go behind, either interlacing the opposite elbows or back into the reverse prayer. Here, go very slow. On the next inhale, we're gonna go back. And exhale, come back to the center. Inhale into back bend and hold it here. Good, on next exhale, come back to the center. You're gonna bring your arms up and you're gonna bring your arms down, shifting your leg to the side. Then you're gonna bring your knee down to left knee down on the floor, and then you're gonna start taking your right arm out so that you move your right leg under into the pigeon pose. So what's important here, guys, is that your hips are right on top of your mat. So if you're seeing this, this is not the right place. Even a little shift like that, even this, no. Your hips really need to be on top. And this is why most of us will need a block right underneath our right cheekbone at this point of time, because it's very rare that we will be on the floor at this point of time. The other thing that is very hard but quite important is that your leg, the front leg, the knee and the heel are actually on the same line. And this is where many of you are gonna start now shifting your hip, because this front leg needs to be knee and ankle need to be straight line. Yes. And now you see that now all of you are lifting up, because none of you could be sitting there if we're doing this yoga style correct. Good. Now that most of us have adjusted, this is where you take a deep breath, open up, and then you start exhaling and lowering down to the degree that feels good without compromising the leg, without compromising the hip. Good. Take your time. This is my favorite pose because it's really like peeling an onion. The more you exhale, the more pain you discover. So really try to be gentle with yourself. Be very patient with yourself, because this is a very deep pose, getting deep into your hip structure. It's really good for sciatica, if you have sciatica problems. And just remember, tune in into your metacognition and observe. Your body is just the doer, and your mind right now is releasing all the tension out of those places. Last cycle of breath. Good, and very, very, very slowly, let's come up. Grab the block out of your thigh. Step into the plank and into the tabletop so that you can move your hips around. And just allow for all of those sensations to come back to a safe place. Good, and from here we'll go into downward dog. And again, just notice how much space you just created inside of your thigh. It is such a beautiful sensation to be free of the tension that your body has been storing there. And just through a simple pose and a lot of breathing, you freed yourself from all that garbage that was stored inside of your thigh. So what we're gonna do next is, of course, the left side, because we need to take out the garbage from the left side. All right, on the next inhale, left leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, open your hip. Start trusting the floor and the gravity and move into the wild thing on this side. Opening your hips up, opening your chest up. Taking one breath. On the exhale into downward dog, leg up towards the ceiling, swing the leg to the front and start coming up into high lunge. On the next exhale, arms behind you into prayer. And on the next inhale, bringing your back back. Exhale, come back. Very slowly, we're gonna go into back bend and we're gonna stay there for a few breaths. Take your time. Good. On the next exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, start moving the leg to the left, the arm down, bring the right knee on the floor, and then you're gonna open up the space here, and you're gonna start moving your left leg towards the opposite side of the mat. And remember to keep the same line in between your ankle and your knee. Grab a block, put the block under your hip. Good. And just notice here. So hips should be both trying to look down. Nice. From here, if you're ready, inhale and open. And on the exhale, slowly move down to your own degree. And notice, without sacrificing any of these beautiful geometric figures in yoga. And my metacognitive mind is telling me, Olga, you really need the pigeons. You gotta do them daily. But I'm not sure this is my metacognition. I think this is more my internal judgment. So just letting you know, guys, this is exactly what's happening probably for you. You want to be in metacognition and you want to let it go by breathing out. But then your ego is like, oh my God, you're storing so much tension there, lady. Go do this daily. You need to release it. Good. 2 more breaths here. Very, very, very slowly. Let's come back up. And take the tabletop, move your hips around just to release anything. And then let's go into the downward dog, the last one for this sequence. So take your time here. And take 3 cleansing breaths with your mouth open if it feels good. And if it feels good, you can even do lion's breath. Last one. Good. Very slowly bring your feet all the way forward. Sit down. Good. We're gonna lie down, keep the knees bent. Bring your feet close together. Close, very close to your thighs. Good. We're gonna go first into the bridge pose. But since I have been warming up your back, for those of you who feel good, you can go into the wheel right away. But for the rest of you who feel like you need to go into the bridge first, go ahead into the bridge first. So make sure you're pushing from your heels up. You're engaging your glutes on the way up, and while you're there, you're bringing your shoulder blades very close together because that's what gives you a very big lift. And then imagine you're holding a block in between your thighs. So also your thighs have a role to play here because your thighs are then helping you to go up as well. there's these nice little muscles inside of your inner thigh that help you shift a little bit higher. Very good. Slowly exhale, bring the knees into the chest, and then rock side to side just to soften your lower back. Okay. And let's go back to the same pose, bringing your heels next to your thighs. For those of you who want to try the full wheel, we're going to go into the full wheel. You're going to bring your arms next to your ears. And then you're going to start slowly pushing with your heels and with your hips up towards the ceiling. Your arms are also pushing. Good. So use your arms, guys. Your arms are there to help you as well, but mostly you're pushing from your legs. Just so that you know, you're mostly pushing from your legs. Good. Slowly release. And let's bring the knees back into the chest, move side to side. Good. We're gonna try one more time. And I'm gonna invite you to play around. You're gonna actually open up your legs a little bit wider, just to feel the difference. So just a little bit wider than usual. Your arms, keep them next to your ears. And then really engage the bottom of your heels to push down while your hips are pushing up. So let's try this again. And really try to bring your shoulder blades closer together. Go very slow. Good. Push with your thigh. Very nice, Siggy. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, Lorenzo. That's gorgeous. Well done. Good job, guys. Really well done. Slowly, slowly release. So I saw these tiny little corrections being done, and you guys really made it far today. Let's release the lower back, shift side to side. Good. We're gonna hug our knees into the chest tightly. And then we're gonna hug and bring our nose into the knees. And then release into Shavasana. Ooh, well deserved, everyone. Ooh. This is the most important part of the whole yoga practice. This is where you get all of the benefits of the practice. Rest is just as equally important as movement. tune in back into your metacognition to observe yourself a little bit more, softening and relaxing into this beautiful Shavasana. And with this idea that you can always tap into your observer state and not your doer, not your feeler state, you're equipping yourself with emotional, intellectual, mental distance so that you could observe everything that's going on without too much of a reaction. And going into the holiday season, it will be very important to be the observer so that you could enjoy without too much drama. So start slowly awakening yourself, moving your toes, your fingers. Moving your head side to side. Taking your arms up and above into nice stretch. And then bending your knees. And then sitting up safely. And just putting arms either into the prayer or onto your heart and just giving yourself lots of gratitude for really taking care of yourself the entire year, for showing up to all of these amazing yoga classes that our ladies do for you. And for cultivating your well-being, cultivating the beautiful state of mind, so that you can really enjoy life fully, being in the present. So take care, everyone. This